So here's some help for the dice project. As you can see, I've come through and I've made sure that on the opposite side of my block, both of those opposite sides equal 7. So if I've got 6 on this side of my block, when I click and turn it around, I have 1, because 6 plus 1 equals 7. You can see here I've got a 5, and on the opposite side I need to make sure I have 2. I have a 3, and I'm going to show you now the process of how to draw the 4 dots that I need to. So I'm going to hover up to the top left and start a 2D sketch. I'm going to pick that blank side of my block, and I'm just going to use my hand tool to make it so that it's a little bit comfortable. I've just zoomed in on my mouse. So from here I can now use my circle tool, and I'm going to draw 4 circles relatively close to the corners. And now I'm going to use my dimension tool. I'm going to click on the outer edge of the circle, and I'm going to drag it in slightly so that the measurement goes inside of that circle. It will get very confusing later on if I was to do that on the outside and had lots of different measurements on the screen. So do yourself a favor and put it on the inside of your circle. Now the diameter of this is 3, and I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest. Doing that on all of them. They're all 3 millimeters. Now to get them in the right spot on here, you can see that there's some which are slightly further in than others. I've still got my dimension tool selected. Then I click on the outer edge of my cube, and then that little green dot right in the middle of the circle. Now I'm going to change that to 5. Because our cube is 20 millimeters wide, 1/4 of that equals 5. So by doing that at 5 by 5, that puts that perfectly into the center of that quadrant of that cube. Oh, got something funny going on here. I'm going to cancel and go back into dimension, making sure I've picked the center of that circle. Now you can see as I'm doing this, just have a look on the left hand side, I have renamed every single one of my current extrusions for all my other sides. So be really careful to pick that center point of the circle. If you don't, you'll find that you pick other things, and it gets a little bit tricky later. Now from here I'm going to finish my sketch, and I'm going to extrude, going to make sure I'm on 0.5. I'm going to select all of those 4 dots I've just drawn, and then I'm going to change my direction into direction 2. That's going to turn it inward, and I'm going to go OK. And now I have my last side with my 4 dots. The very final thing to do is to change the name of my extrusion to 4 dots, or dimples. And that's it. That's how we add a new sketch and draw and dimension our dots for our dice.